Hey guys, it is me, the dude who talks, and welcome to a new video. So for today's video I'm going to be talking about the debut new album from Dead Exaltation, which is called Despondent, and it came out on Friday the 5th of February. So hailing from Pune in India, Dead Exaltation are a three-piece technical death metal band featuring Satyajit Gagori on vocals, Muradal Singhal, who was the main songwriter, who also did guitar and bass duties, and last but not least, it's Aditya OK on drums. I'm very sorry if I've got those pronunciations wrong. Unfortunately, the main songwriter Muradal tragically passed away during the production of this album, but the remaining members were determined to get this album out there. So Despondent has a concept surrounding the album, which involves a psychotic prison warden who imprisons innocent people from the streets who were then subsequently tortured and then eaten. Standard death metal stuff there. So what did I think of Despondent? Did I like it, or did this album make me feel despondent by listening to it? Well, let's jump in and find out. So, Despondent is 9 tracks and clocks in at 33 minutes, so no complaints there if you've got a short attention span like me. The album kicks off with Gloom, which is this intro which leads off into the main song, Involuntary Emasculation, and that starts things off in a way that you would expect from a death metal band. Fast paced and straight to the point. You got the usual stuff here: fast paced drumming, solos, hard riffs and growls. Yet the vocalist has this really nice throaty deep growl which works well and I'm a big fan of. The song does a great job of showing what Dead Exaltation are about, which is playing heavy death metal with a little bit of technical thrown in there. So think of bands like Revocation or Cattle Decapitation. From Involuntary Emasculation we have Coerced Sewer Ingest. I'm really liking the song titles on this. You gotta go all in with albums like this. And this song is all about the tempo changes, going from fast to very fast, then back to normal fast. And there's blast beats as well. However, on the next track, we unexpectedly get a 2-minute long interlude called The Conversation, which has this kind of deranged narration, which is narrated by, now, sincere apologies for getting this wrong, Uday Iyer. One of my favourite parts of this interlude is where he cackles really loud and goes, "Enough of your shit, old man!" And I'm thinking, wow, this is really good. So the next song picks up the pace once again with the song The Psychology, which gave me more Revocation vibes. However, it does something a bit different and delves a little into the softer melodic side in the second half of this song, which is an interesting touch, but to be fair, it's done really well. In terms of the pacing of this album, which I will go into more detail later, it is the second half of the album where things pick up and things definitely step up a gear, especially with my standout track on this album, which is called The Transformation, which in my opinion sees them at their heaviest with the inclusion of this nice tasty riff. Here is an example. The remaining tracks on the album help keep up the momentum right up until the very end, and definitely shows more of the technical abilities that they possess, especially in the latter half of the album. Another standout track that really showcases this is the song title Onnaya Mors Ayakwet, meaning death equalizes everything. The song for me has the right balance of tempo shifts, melody and aggression. Okay, it's time for the nitpicks part of this video, and there is a few nits I picked on this record, so to speak. I felt that the intro called Gloom was a bit too long, with it being over a minute, which I know I'm sounding very petty here. However, I felt it didn't do much. It's basically like a quiet buzzing sound which inevitably gets louder and there's some screams in the background. Now, fans of this genre have probably heard like similar intros like this a bazillion times, and I just felt that it didn't do too much. It might have worked better if it was just like 30 seconds or something, but you know, I know it's a bit of a minor thing, but you know, it's not the end of the world though. So I mentioned earlier about an interlude called The Conversation, which on my first listen came out of nowhere and to be honest felt a little bit jarring. It's like 2 minutes long and it just comes on like after two songs, and it feels like a sandwich between like the intro, the two songs, and then this interlude. It kind of, for me, harmed the pacing of the record, especially with the first album. Now, I do appreciate this is part of the concept, and it's not bad in any way. I really loved the narration of it. I thought that was brilliant, but I felt it could have been utilised better in the concept if it was just broken down into like 30-second segments or like 15-second segments spliced throughout the album. I think that would have helped it a bit better. Final nitpick of this record is the recording in general. It does have that rough around the edges feel sound, which, you know, is fine. I like that. It gives it that raw feeling and just adds to its charm. However, there was one thing I noticed, which was like in the Psychology, the song. It has this solo which feels like it was like recorded under a duvet. It just didn't sound right. But luckily there's not too many things like that throughout the record, so, you know, it can be easily overlooked. Apart from some of the minor issues that I had with it, Dead Exaltation gets the most important thing right, and that is the meat of the record, which is the songs. They nail them. So yeah, there's a little bit of pacing issues with the first half of the record, but the second half really picks things up, and for me delivers a solid death metal album. And I think this should warrant your attention. Given the circumstances, I really hope they do find a way of moving forwards, because I'm really intrigued to see what they'll come up with next. And that was me talking about Despondent by Dead Exaltation. Have you picked up this record yet? Please let me know what you thought about it down below in the comments section. Like always, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. It really helps. I also just want to quickly plug my Facebook page. I'm trying to post stuff there daily, so if you want to give that a like, feel free to do so. I'll obviously include a link in the description section. Well, that is it from me. I've been the dude who talks. Obviously, you guys, and always will be, fucking awesome. Thank you so much for listening. I shall see you soon.